There you go. And you just gotta end it when you're done with the same button.
Word. Welcome back to the third quarter. I am gonna finish this off solo. Um, Patrick's got to deal with some things. But this won't be too long for you guys. Now, what are we talking about here in the second half slash third quarter? Matter of fact, we're just gonna say third and fourth quarter combined. All right. In a way, we're bringing the Wrestling Royale that has been on a semi hiatus into the main show because there is some big news in the world of wrestling and really around the world. So, not to bring in the political landscape of the world currently, but as a lot of you may be aware, there is some um, troubling news coming out of the Middle East, right? And so it is not currently the best time to travel over there. But you know who is traveling over there, despite many, many concerns from the employees of the company we're about to talk to? But the WWE. The WWE is going to have their premium live event, Night of Champions, in Saudi Arabia, which is only about 120 miles. The location of the event, only about 120 miles away from Iran, and so a lot of WWE talents have been very concerned with the growing tensions in the Middle East. There is currently, as I'm recording, a ceasefire between. I don't even know if I can mention these two countries in this YouTube video without it being flagged for some reason. So, if you know, you know, and you should know. But anyway, uh, there is some growing concerns about the tensions there. Not that Saudi Arabia is necessarily a target, but you don't know what's going to happen, especially in these current times. And so there has been a lot of vocal concerns, not just from the talent, but I've been seeing on different reports from different wrestling websites that other members of the WWE staff. And one example of something that is kind of concerning is there were 5 members of the WWE production staff, I believe, who were stuck in Qatar due to the current situation. And yes, the WWE, they're getting $50 million from the Saudi Arabian government to throw this event in Saudi Arabia. Now, why is that important? Well, TKO, the parent company of WWE, who is also subsidiary, I think I said that right, of Endeavor, right? So Endeavor owns TKO, who owns UFC, WWE. I could be wrong in that, but just know that they're all part of one giant corporation. Either way, TKO is billions of dollars in debt. Not WWE, to be specific. WWE itself is not in debt, but TKO, who owns WWE, is in debt. So $50 million is nothing to scoff at. I'm not here to defend the WWE's choice to continue the show, right? Because in 2018, I believe there were some things going on in Saudi Arabia involving the WWE talent roster, where they were essentially held hostage there. Not like actual hostage, but things were tense, and WWE proceeded to ignore the talent's concerns and go on with the show. And so this is not surprising. This isn't a TKO thing. WWE was always going to run this show, right? Unless there were attacks on Saudi Arabian soil prior to the show, like a week prior, they were going to make this happen one way or another. It's not the first time, and it certainly won't be the last time that WWE has done a show in the Middle East. They've done shows on military bases, right? And now they're doing shows in Saudi Arabia, and they do 2 shows a year now. So I thought it'd be interesting to bring this up. It is unfortunate that the concerns of the talent are being disregarded, right? I don't know if there were talks. There's been certainly no reports that I've seen from any credible wrestling reporters out there that the Saudi Arabian government guaranteed the safety of the talents involved, right? Now, there is a ceasefire currently in the Middle East between two nations at odds with each other. And so maybe, just maybe, that is what the WWE is using to tell their talents, hey, we're just going to go on with the show. The show has to go on. It doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. Listen, you could have postponed the show. It would have thrown a wrench in the programming. But here's the thing. With professional wrestling, things change on a dime. You have to be flexible. You have to be able to move with the times. Stars get hurt all the time. Storylines get scrapped. Have to get changed on the fly. You have to have additions, subtractions, all this to make your programming go, right? So, I mean, we're already seeing that with the card. If you follow the WWE, if you follow professional wrestling, I know this is not the main channel for that, or the main show for that, but there's already injuries to wrestlers. So we're seeing already last minute changes to certain matches, last minute additions to the card. Is what it is, right? It can happen, these things happen. And by that very nature, if you're the wrestler, like, hey, things happen all the time on our end, this is on your end now, you can address our concerns and postpone this event so when things are not as tense. You can relocate this to the WWE Performance Center, right? They have a performance center in Florida. They could move this to Vegas, right? CNS TKO wants everything in Vegas now. And yes, you are losing a huge amount of revenue, but you are not putting anybody at risk, nor are you contributing to any sort of stress these performers are already experiencing, right? The stresses of being under the spotlight of WWE and trying to put on a great product. Well, now you have to do that. And on top of that, you are in a really tight spot in terms of, will something happen here? Can something happen here or not? So, that. Other than that, there's really not much else to talk about in that regard. I just wanted to bring that up as a very interesting thing to follow because, you don't have a lot of major American sports and sports adjacent leagues or organizations, companies that find themselves in this situation, right? You're not going to see the NFL host an event like this. NBA, maybe not. I mean, I know they do something in Dubai, but that's neither here nor there. Hockey, definitely not. MLS, well, unless it's like international play, it's just going to be like a club. It's not the whole organization like the WWE. Right? So it's just very interesting, very fascinating to kind of keep track of what is happening because there were some concerns that it would be canceled and some concerns that it wouldn't be canceled. So WWE is going to go ahead with Night of Champions, which, if you want to tune in, you can see it on Saturday, I believe. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully, the event goes off without a hitch and all the wrestlers, all of the production staff, everybody involved can come back home safe and sound. And this will just be something to look at later down the line. Like, oh, remember that weird decision WWE made in 2025 regarding Night of Champions? But yeah, other than that, y'all, there is nothing else for me to really talk about. The Rangers are doing well right now. And next week, you know what? We might have Bethke back. We might not. Who knows? But yeah, that's all I got for you. I'm going to land this plane as awkwardly as I can. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in to Pass the Rock. We'll see you when we see you. Mwah! Love y'all. And have a good night. Ooh.